awkward. So today we are working on rates and simple interest this week. And so I need you guys all to go into the course in Schoology and make sure you go to the week 6 folder, the only red folder that's on there, and do this week's pre-assessment on rates and simple interest. So I will show you how to get there. So you go to your courses, make sure you hit Math Skills 4 with the purple picture for Mr. G. Scroll down to week 6 and do rates and simple interest. Okay, you want to make sure you hit that pre-assessment. I need you guys all working in that pre-assessment today. Rates and simple interest. So that's the second item in that folder. Rates and simple interest pre-assessment. It has this little puzzle piece in front of it. That's what you're looking for. Once you're finished with that pre-assessment, if you have not done last week's exit ticket, please go in and do that. If you were here last week, of course, go in and do last week's exit ticket. And then you can come back and do this discussion post. Okay, so first and foremost, pre-assessment. That's the most important thing. So I'm gonna give you guys some time to do that. I'm gonna put myself on mute to allow you guys some time to just work on your pre-assessment. So you should be in the week 6 folder working on your pre-assessment right now.
Get into my essential ed to get to my assignments.
You can't get into Essential Ed?
Yes.
Okay, so I can activate your Essential Ed. Can you get into your Schoology right now?
Actually, I don't even see my Schoology on here. That has disappeared also.
Okay, so how are you logging in?
Right now, I'm on my essential ed because I don't see my Schoology on here. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so are you going in through Clever when you
Clever.
log in on your computer?
Let me see something here. What happened? What happened? Oh, goodness. Mm, 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 mm.
So always try to go in through Clever, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you can use that Clever login, make sure you log in with your AOH information, and Schoology and everything else should come up through there. So let me know if that doesn't work.
Schoology. What in the world? Okay, I have it. Thank you, Mr. G.
Yep, no problem. All right, thank you so much for those of you who are still working on your pre-assessment. Keep working on it. I'm just going to go over this week's announcements while we get started. So let me do that. Pull those up for us. All right, so if you're having any issues with your device or just need general support because you just need some more help navigating your device, Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. you can go on site to the campus, to the school, and you will be able to get assistance in person. If you can't get it, if assistance online isn't working for you, you can get assistance in person that way. All right. And what else is going on? The trivia for this week and also important information about Election Day has been posted in the homeroom. Election Day is fast approaching, so Mr. Thomas has posted an informative video pertaining to that. We only have 8 days, right, till Election Day. So make sure you guys check that out. Trivia winners for last week include Belinda Suggs and our own Renee Young. Woohoo! So I think that's 2 weeks in a row for Renee. Renee has won 2 weeks in a row. That's awesome. Make sure you guys are checking out the trivia in the homeroom, so that you get entered for a chance to win a gift card, $25 gift card, which will be mailed to you. I have asked about whether or not they've gone out already, and I did not get a response yet, so I'm not sure about when they're coming out. I will check back in with Miss Koya. Okay. If you need a tutor, let me know and I will request a tutor for you. Make sure you're always checking your AOH emails. And a Wellness Wednesday PowerPoint has also been posted in the homeroom for this week. This is the last week of October. I hope you guys are excited for the fact that we're getting right through this year, right? Like it's coming on, right? It's the end of the year's coming up. It's almost November, right? So believe it or not, yesterday was surprisingly cold, I guess to remind us that it is fall, because the last week it didn't seem like fall. So yesterday was like, just so you know, it's fall weather out there. All right. So we are going to be going over rates and simple interest this week. And so we have work related for that for this week. And we are going to be working through getting ourselves ready to finish up our consumer math section of this course, right? And also be done with our rational numbers section as well. We'll be done with, after percents, there are no more rational numbers to work with. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so those of you who are still working on that pre-assessment, go ahead and finish that. The next thing is going to be this warm-up here that we have in front of us. We're going to take a look at this warm-up and we're going to look at our discussion post. But the warm-up says, Amy and Jack are selling pumpkins. Which pumpkin patch is the better deal and why? So we have Amy, and this is her rates. For one pumpkin, it's $8. For two, it's $16. For five, it's $40. For 10, it's $80. Jack is selling his 4 for $24, 7 for $42, 9 for $54, and 10 for $60. Who has the better deal and why? Who has the better deal? Neither of them? It's pumpkin season.
Hold on, but I think that probably on the flip one that On the fifth one, I think probably Jack got. Well, I know who. Maybe not. You're saying who the better deal? Or you just selling pumpkin? Which one they? The why? Okay, so
Mhm. So who has the better
I
deal?
may probably have to go do Amy.
Amy has the better deal?
I may probably might say Jack had the better. Well, I know what I say Jack got a better deal, but I think Amy Joe got a better deal than Jack.
Why? Why does Amy have a
She
better
said Jack.
deal?
I think probably on the last one, number 10, they say the Calais. Like he thought, I knew that was too much, and then
So
also,
they're selling pumpkins,
then
right? So if you're going to a pumpkin patch, who are you going to buy your pumpkin from? From Amy or from Jack, and why?
I don't know why. That probably they say Jack. I know Jack got less. Got less of the price. I know.
So Amy is selling her pumpkins at these rates, right? For one, it's $8. For two, it's 16. For five, it's 40. For 10, it's 80. Jack is selling his 4 for 24, 7 for 42, 9 for 54, or 10 for 60. So who has the better deal? Who are you going to buy your pumpkin from?
I would say Jack because you get more pumpkins for less money.
Okay, good, right? So whenever we're looking for the better deal, we're always going to be looking for the better rate, right? So Amy is selling her pumpkins for $8 a piece, while Jack is selling his pumpkins for $6 a piece, right? 4 times 6 is 24, 7 times 6 is 42, 9 times 6 is 54, 10 times 6 is 60. So if I want to save money, I'm going to go buy my pumpkins from Jack instead of buying my pumpkins from Amy, because Amy is selling hers for $8 a pumpkin, right? So you definitely want to go, right, yep, Jack has the pumpkin at a cheaper price, exactly. So you want to go with the cheaper price, and that, in this case, that is Jack, right? So when we're looking at rates, we're trying to figure out, so price is a rate. Just for those of you who have never got like the definition of what a rate is, right? An example of a rate would be a price. Price is a rate, right? Speed is a rate, right? And so a rate is going to be a comparison of two quantities that are different, right? So rate, a speed as a rate means that you're traveling miles per hour, right? Your price is always however much you're getting for however much you're spending. That is an example of a rate. We're comparing two quantities, right, that are different, right? They're not the same. If I were to compare the number of male students and the number of female students, right, I'm still comparing people, so that wouldn't be a rate. But when I compare two different things, miles to hours, price to amount, that is considered a rate. Okay, so we're going to get into that today, and we're going to take a look at our discussion post in Schoology. So we have the discussion post here, what is a rate, right? And it says here that many people love coffee for some reason. I don't know why people like coffee, but you know, a lot of people love coffee. And they go to Starbucks to get their coffee, which also another crazy thing to me. I don't know why people do that. But for a fancy coffee from Starbucks, the 12-ounce tall costs $3.55. The 16-ounce grande costs $4.25. And the 20-ounce venti costs $4.55. Which of these is the better buy? And what method did you use, is what it should say, instead of yo. What method did you use to figure that out? All right, so the tall costs $3.55, the grande costs $4.25, and the venti costs $4.55. Which of these is the better buy? And how do we figure that out? Hmm. What do we do? What do we do? How do we figure it out? Who are my coffee lovers out there? Who are the ones who do this on a regular? Who are buying
I
their
like coffee, but I don't do Starbucks on a regular.
Okay.
Um, that part doesn't make sense. I make my coffee at home. But anyway, I'm guessing that you would have to figure out how much you're spending per ounce, but I don't know how you would find that out.
Oh, okay. So you have to figure out how much you're spending per ounce. That is correct. You would have to figure out how much you're spending per ounce. What would you do to figure out how much you're spending per ounce? Anybody have any ideas? What would you do to figure out how much you're spending per ounce?
Would you multiply the price to the ounces
Okay. So we
or
would,
divide the price into the ounces?
oh, okay. Yes. So exactly. We wouldn't multiply, but we would divide, right? If we're trying to figure out the price per ounce, right? Let's write that out. I'm going to write that out in words here. Just going to annotate our screen just so we see that. So what we just said is that we want to figure out the price per ounce, right? That's what we just said. So price per ounce. So what does this word here indicate to us? This per. What does this tell us that we should be doing?
Oh, that's one of our whatchamacallit words.
What operation should we use when we see that word per?
Multiply.
Division.
Yeah, so very good. Both of those answers were correct, right? So some of you said multiply, some of you said divide, right? It's really going to depend on the situation. In this case, we're going to divide. And the reason that we should know that we're going to divide is because we don't want a bigger number, right? We already have a pretty large number. We're trying to make it smaller. We're trying to figure out how much we're spending per ounce. So we're going to take our price and divide it by the ounces, all right? Whenever we're looking for a rate, we are more than likely going to be using division, okay? A rate is really going to indicate to you that we're working in and with division, all right? So this is like the first week where, I don't know if you noticed in your pre-assessment, I did say that calculators were allowed, right? Calculators are going to be fine for this week. You don't have to tax your brain. I've already taxed your brain enough, hopefully. I've already gotten it working. In this case, what's going to be important is the calculation, the answer, and not necessarily working through to get the answer, so I don't have to tax your brain as much. But what we're going to do to figure out the price per ounce is just divide each price by the size of the cup that it comes in, right? So we do 355 divided by 12, 425 divided by 16, and then 455 divided by 20 to figure out which one has the best price, or which one is the better buy. So I'll let you all figure that out. Which one of those is the better buy? Who has the lowest price per ounce?
The 20 ounce?
Good. What was the price per ounce for the 20 ounce?
$4.55.
So when we divide 455 by 20, what did we get?
22.
22.
23, right? Because we got to round up, because that after the 2 comes a 7, so we should round up to 23 cents, right? Okay, so it's
Yes.
23 cents for that 20 ounce. The 16 ounce was 27 cents, and the 12 ounce is 30 cents, right, when we round it. So yes, definitely the better buy is the 20 ounce.
Okay.
All right, so this is how we figure out better rates and better prices, is by doing division, right? We're gonna take what we learned about working with our decimals a little bit, right? And we're gonna just divide, and we don't have to move anything, thankfully, right? Because we're dividing by a whole number. But then that's how we figure out our price per ounce, okay? That's what we're gonna do to figure that out. I learned something, not that I don't go to Starbucks at all, right? I don't drink coffee, I don't like coffee, it's not a big attraction for me, but apparently people who like iced coffee will go and they'll order the 20 ounce iced coffee. But it turns out you can order the 12 ounce like iced coffee, but request no ice, and then order a separate cup of ice, because you get that for free. And by the time you pour the ice and that coffee into your 20 ounce cup, you've essentially gotten the same amount of coffee. And so I watched a YouTube video on that because I thought it was fascinating. That's how people have realized they can save money, is just not getting ice in their iced coffee and ordering it separately. Just to save themselves $1, you know, they figured it out, they've worked it out, man. But anyway, so that's a rate, okay? When we're looking at rates, we use rates to figure out better buys. And we also use rates when we're talking about applying percents, and we'll look at that a little bit later this week. But right now, we're just going to focus on our rates. Okay. So the next thing I just wanted you guys to do is just grab your notes from your folder. We're going to work on our rates and unit rates notes, which are right under your discussion post. Right after it says, what is a rate? Your next thing should be the rates and unit rates notes. And that's what we're going to work on for the rest of class today. I'm going to finish up these notes. For just a couple pages, we should be able to get it done in the time that we have left.
Rates.
Okay, rates and unit rates. Okay, so we're going to fill out these notes together. And of course, the first thing is just defining what a rate is. And we talked about that already, but just so you have it written down, a rate is a ratio that compares two quantities with different kinds of units. For example, 100 words in 2 minutes, 55 miles in 1 hour. Okay, or like we just figured out, 23 cents per ounce, right? So those are examples of rates. All right, those are just some examples. And then this next one says when a rate is simplified so that it has a 1, right? So I'm going to clarify that it should say it has a 1 in the denominator. So like in these two examples here, which I will circle in a different color, right? So when I simplify my rate so that there's a 1 in the denominator, it is known as a unit rate, okay? So 55 miles per hour is a unit rate, 23 cents per ounce is a unit rate, but 100 words in 2 minutes, because there's a 2 in this denominator, it is not a unit rate, it's just a rate, okay? So the difference between a rate and a unit rate is a unit rate has 1 in the denominator. Right? So how do you find a unit rate? We're going to use this example here to show us how we find a unit rate, because that's coming across here at the bottom in this example. All right. So when we find a unit rate, what we're going to do is we're going to write the two quantities as a fraction, right? Write them as a fraction. That's that first step. And then the next step, as it's written right here, is you're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So in this case, I have 100 words in 2 minutes, right? Over 2 minutes. So I'm going to divide both my numerator and my denominator by 2. Okay. This will create a denominator of 1. Okay. And now I have unique measurements for both. So 100 divided by 2 is going to give me 50. 2 divided by 2 is going to give me 1. So I can read or write or whatever this is, the situation is, 50 words per minute. Okay. So finding a unit rate is actually quite simple. All you're doing is dividing by your denominator, right? Whenever you're trying to find a unit rate. When you think about our warm-up, this is essentially what we did, right? We didn't think about it in these exact steps, but what you were given, or in our discussion post, excuse me, I should say, you were given the price per ounce, price per size of each of those drinks, right? The tall was this price, the grande was one price, and the venti was another price, right? Because we know the sizes, we were able to take that price, $4.55, put it over 20, right? I get I have to spend $4.55 for the 20-ounce cup, and then all I did was divide both my numerator and my denominator by 20. I didn't necessarily have to do this step because I know that 20 divided by 20 is going to give me 1. And so all I did was focus on $4.55 divided by 20 to give me the price that I was looking for. Okay. Question so far? All right, I'm going to keep going then. All right, so we're going to find some unit rates using these examples here. It says Alex can run 24 miles in 3 hours. What is his average speed, right, in miles per hour? Okay. So there are 2 things that we should notice here. So it tells me to find the miles per hour, right? This is a unit rate. It also tells me that when I find this unit rate, I'm going to be given his average speed. So average speed is a unit rate? That might be something that we're just learning for the first time today. But when we're finding an average, right, we are finding a unit rate. Okay, so 24 miles in 3 hours. So I'm going to set it up as a fraction, 24 miles in 3 hours. How do I know that miles is my numerator and hours is my denominator? How do I know that? Why did I set it up this way? 24 miles over 3 hours.
Confident you want to find out what his average speed is. His average speed was.
Okay, but why do I know that I need to put miles over hours, not hours over miles?
Because I want to say you want to divide that. You want to
Okay.
divide that 3 into 24.
Okay. Why do I know I don't want to divide 24 into 3?
Cause that means cause you gotta get a longer number, basically.
Okay,
With a decimal point on.
I get a smaller number, but why do I know that it's miles over hours? Why do I know that?
Because you're trying to find out how many miles per hour.
Aha.
So
Okay, per hour. Got
Right?
that.
It tells me the order I should be doing it in, right? When it says miles per hour, that means I know I'm dividing miles by the hour, okay? This is why I know it's like that, all right? Not because 24 is bigger than 3, and yes, that usually should be the case that you're going to be working with a bigger number, right? And then a smaller number is under it, you're dividing by a smaller number. That's not always going to be the case. I just have to figure out what do I want to figure out? And it says miles per hour. So I'm dividing the miles by the hours. Okay, I'm going to use what it tells me. Okay, so I'm going to do 24 miles divided by 3 hours. So what is that going to give me? What's 24 divided by 3?
8.
8.
8.
So it's just 8 miles per hour. That's his average speed. All right. Number 2 says that you buy 5 pounds for $35. How much does 1 pound cost? So I am looking for.
I'm looking for that. I was gonna say you put $35 divided by 5, and then
That's good. Yeah.
by 5 first. Okay.
Okay, good. Because what am I looking for when it says how much does 1 pound cost? I'm looking for the price per pound, right?
Wow.
That's what I'm looking for. So that means I need to do 35 divided by 5 pounds. What's 35 divided by 5?
7.
So it's $7 per pound. All right. I'm going to get you guys used to abbreviations too by using these abbreviations, right? My slash means per. So $7 per pound. All right, number 3, we have a table, but we're doing the same thing. We have the amount, we have the total cost, and we're trying to figure out the rate, and it's asking us which one costs the least per ounce, right? So again, this is price per ounce. So I have to set up all of my rates, right? It's going to be $1.28 divided by 16. It's going to be $1.92 divided by 32, and finally 256 divided by 64. So we're going to use our calculators, right? Because I don't want us to tax our brains too much. So we can use our calculators. in week 6 to calculate this. So we have $1.28 divided by 16. What's our price per ounce? Or our cost per ounce?
8 cents.
Very good. So it's going to be 8 cents.
6 cents and 4 cents.
Very good. Okay. All right. It shouldn't surprise anybody that the bigger size is usually going to be the better buy, right? So which container costs the least per ounce is the 64-ounce size that costs the least per ounce. But that is not always the case, especially sometimes when they put like the middle size on sale, right? They put the middle size on sale and then you'd be like, oh, but I can just get the 64-ounce for cheaper. Maybe. You're never absolutely sure. Also, if you do need to do the calculation sometimes. But yes, in general, the bigger size is going to be a lower cost per ounce. You can always check that by looking at the tags, right? Your tags in the grocery store will indicate the cost per ounce. But sometimes they'll trick you because they'll put the sale tag on without the price per ounce, which is not fair. I think Safeway so far is the only store I've noticed that actually keeps the price per ounce on the sale tag. I'm not sure that other stores do it, but anyway. So 64-ounce, the 64-ounce size is the one that costs the least per ounce. All right. All right, so we're going to do some bargain hunting. On this last page here, we're going to figure out which one is a better buy, column A or column B for each item, right? So we have the prices, we're going to figure out the rates and then figure out which one, A or B, is the better buy. So we have, for the first one apple for 19 cents. So the rate obviously is just going to be 19 cents per apple, right? For this one, it is 3 apples for 59 cents. So I have to figure this one out, right? I have to take 59 cents and divide it by 3. What is my rate for that? .59 divided by 3. You do have to round up.
0.20
Yep.
cents, I think.
Very good. 20 cents per apple, right? So which one has the better buy? A or B?
A.
A has the better buy, okay? All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes to do the rest of these without my assistance, and then we're gonna come back and check them, all right? So go ahead and try the rest of them. There's gonna be the same exact idea, right? We're just gonna figure out the unit rate for each one and then say whether or not A or B is the better buy. Okay, so go ahead and work through these. I'm just going to give you a couple minutes to do it on your own and we'll come back and check them, right? I just want to make sure you guys are getting the process down on your own without me walking you through it. Okay, so go ahead and try this and then we'll be right back to check them. All right, let's start going over some of these. I know some of you might still be working, but we're gonna go over them so that we don't run out of time. But we have 20 pounds of pet food for $14.99 and 50 pounds of pet food for $37.99. Which one is the better buy, A or B?
A.
A.
A is the better buy, definitely, yes. Oops, sorry. Got my thing in the way. But A is the better buy, absolutely. Okay. And again, we just figured this out by taking the price and divided it by the amount. So I'll write that in there. Okay, a car that travels 308 miles on 11 gallons of gasoline and a car that travels 406 miles on 29 gallons of gasoline. Which one is the better gas mileage? A or B?
A.
A.
So what do we get for A? We got 28, right?
28, yeah, and B
Yes.
got 29.
29.
Okay, so in this case, B is better because we want the higher number for miles per gallon, right? We want the car that's able to travel for a longer period of time. This one was a trick one.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
We're not looking for the lower, right? We're not looking for a lower price. We're looking for longer miles. So actually this one is B. So you guys did the calculation correct. We just weren't thinking about it enough.
Sneaky, sneaky, Mr.
I know, always sneaky. All right, what about 10 pens for $8.99 and 25 pens for $19.75? Which one is the better buy, A or B?
B.
B. B is definitely the better buy here. I think this was 79 cents over
Yes.
here, and this one was 90 cents, right? Yeah.
We wasn't rounding.
Yep, we're rounding, yep. And when you rounded, for this first one, we have $8.99 divided by 10, right? Which is gonna give you 0.899, so that's what it rounds up to 90. And this one, 1975 divided by 25 gives you, I think, exactly 79. Isn't it? Let's see. Yeah.
Yes, it's 79
Exactly.
cents.
Yep, exactly 79 cents. Right, so we only need to round when the numbers go beyond the cents, right? So if there's another number here, then we would need to round. But when it stops right at right on the money, as they would say, we don't need to round it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so for these next two, you guys might argue with me, but these next two, I think, are both the same, right? Because the decimal is so far that if we're thinking about money, doesn't it all work out to be the same? I don't know. We'll see. You tell me. Well, what do you guys think for this next one, the gallon of pain? What do you guys
Would
get?
it be B, because B is 50 cents cheaper?
Sorry, I'm one ahead. Yes, this one is $13.49. Sorry, I'm looking ahead too far. This one is $13.49. This one is $13.99. Yes, B is the better buy. I skipped ahead one. I apologize. Yes, B, B, B. I'm sorry, the next two after that were the ones I was thinking about. They are essentially the same to me, but what did you guys think? 84 ounces of liquid detergent for $10.64. Because I got essentially the same, right? I got essentially 13 cents for both. So for me, they were the same. I think there's like a small difference in how you round it, but at the end of the day, you have to round both of them. So I think it's the same, right? If you go to the store.
Yeah, I got the same too, Mr. G.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to the store, it's going to be, I mean, this one is 0.1266 and this one is 0.1289, but like it's still, there's still going to be 13 cents, right?
Yeah.
I
Right.
have a question about that, Mr. G.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't A be better because you get more ounces?
At the end of the day, what I'm saying is that you're still paying 13 cents per ounce. is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Okay, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So what that said? Well, wait. So what that said on the lab one? Then
I'm sorry?
lab part. That no, the lab part. What I'm pointing to. No, that part. What I'm pointing to. Yeah. What that said?
Same?
Same. Oh, the same one. Oh, that.
Yeah.
What I want. I'm trying to think what that. Why did that?
Yeah, so I got the same for this one and I got the same for the next one because they were essentially, when you round
Right.
them, it's going to be the same thing. Like they're both 0.003.
Right, but would that be something like if we see something like this on the GED test,
Uh-huh.
we can't just put same. Like I kind of see where Renee was coming from as far as the 84 ounces and the 48 ounces.
Right.
Like on a test, you know, we would think to select the 84 ounce.
So remember in these situations, and when you do have it on the test, it's gonna have, it's gonna have A, B, or they're both the same, right? That's gonna be an option,
Okay.
right? And so you would be able to say that they're both the same. Hopefully they would not be so twisted as to give you guys questions like these two, right? Like these are just hopefully just examples that we'll see only here and that you wouldn't be tested on. Like I can't imagine that. I've never seen it. I mean, they are sinister, but hopefully not quite this. Like this would be evil, right? Like that's not fair at all. Because they would round to the exact same amount of money. All right, let's do these last few to get us out of here on time. Okay, so 2 compact discs for $26.50 and 3 for $40. Which one was the better buy?
$325. Oh my God, $13.25. 13.25 and the other one is 13. That's a probably they say in B, but
So B is actually a higher price, right? 40 divided by 3 is going to give me $13.33. So that's actually a higher price. Right, because I'm going to do 40 divided by 3, I'm going to get $13.33. And then when I do 26.50, oops, 26.50 divided by 2, I'm going to get 13.25. So 13.25 is lower. So A is the better buy.
A is the better buy?
Yes. I mean, not that anybody's buying CDs anymore, but 13.25 would be the lower price. Ooh, excuse me. Definitely haven't bought a CD in years. Okay, and then we have 8 pencils for 99 cents and 12 pencils for $1.49. Which one's the better buy?
They're both the same.
Yep, they are both the same in this case as well.
But I knew that question of what happened on the other one, but it said about square feet of lawn food. Would that be the same on the top one before the compact disc one?
Yep, this one was also the same. Yeah.
Oh, on the lawn part. Okay.
Right, for the one for the lawn food, yep, those were the same because it ended up being 0.003 for both of them.
Right.
All right, and then for this last one here, the 1,000 sheets of computer paper for $8.95 and the 5,000 sheets for $41.99.
Well, I'm gonna say same. I'm gonna say same, but
Yeah, they're the same. For me, they're both the same. Again, we have about 9 cents, right? Or not even 9 cents. 0.009.
more, yeah, longer than that. Longer than that.
Right? So they're the same in this case as well. All right, great. Hopefully with this exercise, you guys have figured out how to find rates and unit rates, okay? So if you are watching this back and you have not yet completed your pre-assessment and your discussion post, you must do that before 7 p.m. tonight. Everybody that's on here with me has already done that, I'm pretty sure. So you guys are good to go. And your notes are the other thing that need to be completed today by 7 p.m. to get credit for your afternoon period, so from that 1 to 2:30 class period. So please make sure you turn your notes in. Those of you who are on with me have already also completed that. So you guys are good to go. All right, I'm gonna just
Okay.
show, I'm just gonna show the folder just so we have an idea of the work that needs to be done again. So one more time, the pre-assessment and the discussion post should be done, as well as your notes. They need to be done by today. If for whatever reason you can't turn in your notes by 7 p.m. today, the other option is to do practice 1 by 7 p.m. today. But just one of these two things needs to be turned in to make sure that I can give you credit in the system for that afternoon class. All right, any questions for me?
Mr. G, I have a question.
Yep, go right ahead.
In the pre-assessment that we just did, it had a formula that said L equal PRT. Is that something that we're going to learn on Wednesday?
Yep, so the simple
Okay.
interest formula is right here. Those are the notes for that. But yeah, we will learn the simple interest formula on Wednesday. Yep.
Good
Okay.
question, Renee.
Yeah, because I was totally confused in that pre-assessment. I want you to know I guessed on every question. It was a total guess.
I second that.
No worries, no worries. Yeah. So we learned the basis for rates today, and the idea for Wednesday is to apply that knowledge to how it works with a simple interest formula. So we're going to learn the simple interest formula on Wednesday, and it's not L, that's actually I for interest. I is equal to PRT, but we'll learn all of that
okay.
on Wednesday.
Okay, all right. I don't feel so bad then.
No, yeah, it's fine.
So, but which one we have to do? So we don't. So which one we have to do today? I mean, that's just the rate note, does it? Sorry, but then. So,
Yeah,
so the one we rate note, we did that, right?
Yeah, so we just did it. The rates and unit rate notes, yeah, those are what we just did. So you please make sure you just submit it to me by 7 p.m. today to make sure you get credit. Yep.
I did. So that's it. So we don't get to do that till Wednesday, right? Or do we?
Yeah. So then
So
on
don't
Wednesday,
think
we'll go over. I'm sorry. On Wednesday we'll go over the simple interest formula. Yeah, but yeah, nothing else is due today that we haven't gone over, right? So if you're on with me, you're good to go as long as you submit your notes by 7 p.m. Right? That's it. And so on Wednesday we'll do the other set of notes that we need to work on. Right? They're separate. I've separated them.
Just practice 1, 2, and practice 1 and 2, does it?
Okay. So again,
I'm just trying to.
I understand what you're. Yeah, but all that needs to be turned in today, okay, is
so D2.
So all that needs to be turned in today is the rates and unit rates notes. If you cannot turn those in today, your other option is practice number 1. But I need one of those two things turned in by 7 p.m. today. Okay?
Okay.
Everything else is going to be for Wednesday. Okay. All right. So I will see you guys on Wednesday, where we will go over your simple interest formula notes and learn all about the simple interest formula. Okay.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Mr. G.
Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you all Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.